Good evening, liveweatherblogs.com meteorologist Bob here for you with a late night tropical update for Friday, September 3rd, 2010. We now have Tropical Storm Earl. Earl has been downgraded to a tropical storm at 11 p.m. Maximum sustained winds at 70. Minimum central pressure still 958, so still very respectable there. Northeast at 25 miles an hour. It's about 90 miles south-southeast of Nantucket Island, which is right here. So Earl's going to pass, approximately about 125 miles east of Cape Cod, and then continue and finally make an official landfall, possibly still as a tropical storm, and kind of making the transition to an extra tropical system as it moves ashore across southern Nova Scotia tomorrow morning. So that's the official forecast track there, early tomorrow morning coming ashore here. We still have tropical storm warnings across Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and then extreme northeastern Maine here, as we can see some tropical storm force winds in this area. And then along the Cape here, although again, tropical storm force winds are really going to be confined to Nantucket Island. They've had a wind gust of 38 miles an hour recently, and then maybe extreme eastern Cape Cod might see a tropical storm force gust, but that's going to be about it here across New England. Taking a look at the satellite view here, and then I'm going to put the sea surface temperatures on here as well, and you could see increasingly getting cool here. It's just getting out of the Gulf Stream here, so that's about it for warm waters. And as you can see, it's still pretty good core with this system, but it'll pass about 125 miles east of Cape Cod and then continue up towards Nova Scotia. And then here's the current radar. And you can see some good rain still spreading across from Providence just about into Boston here. It's going to kind of be the dividing line from Providence to Boston. And then across, of course, extreme southeastern Mass to Cape. This is where those tropical storm force gusts are, right in this band right here. So never really made it to Long Island, and then they'll continue to skirt Nantucket and then across the eastern Cape here, where the strongest winds will be located. Bigger picture here. Here's the core right down in here. This is where the 50, 60 mile an hour winds are located, and then this band right here is where the tropical storm force gusts are. So again, that'll skirt the eastern Cape overnight tonight. And then this storm will rocket to the northeast. And again, Bar Harbor area, maybe Bangor, this whole area right here along the coast might see some tropical storm force gusts tomorrow morning, then up towards Nova Scotia. And again, here's the wind radius. This was as of 8 p.m., so now the storm is more like right in here. And you can see these tropical storm force winds just brushing the coast here. So what else do we have in the tropics now that Earl is just about gone? Here was Fiona. Fiona is now a remnant low, this little cloud swirl moving near Bermuda. No more advisories on Fiona. The last one was at 11. Look what we have here, the rebirth of Gaston. Yes, possibly we might even see a tropical depression here by tomorrow if this continues. I'll show you here. It's really close to having this great environment or a very bad environment, as we see a big Tut low feature right here to its west, and I'll show you that on the wind shear map. It's really in a good spot now, and if it could keep its distance from this Tut feature, like I said, we could definitely see a tropical depression here by tomorrow. And again, looking at the close-up view of Gaston, or the ex-Gaston, looking really good tonight. Finally seeing some convection. Banding still not perfect yet, but it looks like it's trying to get itself back together here as that wind shear died down, and the air is continuing to get moist as this moves west. And here we go at Ascot tonight. And you can see, even though this just caught the eastern edge of it, you could almost pick out circulation center trying to develop here, and some decent winds here to its north. So could be well on its way to a tropical depression. Models on Gaston, as you can see, a lot of them bringing him into the Caribbean, some a little north. So again, my thinking is this is going to get into the Caribbean, right in this area. This has been my thinking for the last 2 to 3 days here. We're going to see high pressure really building in right across the western and central Atlantic here once Earl is gone. A little bit of a pattern change here. So this should bring Gaston, if he does develop, farther west. Then after that, Might see a little trough again try to develop off the east coast. So will Gaston try to move back north? Will he continue a little farther west? This is in that area where you know, 6, 7, 8 days down the road. We're still unsure about that part yet. GFDL, and here we go. GFDL does bring this in as a hurricane into the Gulf, into the Caribbean here. So again, Leeward Islands, and then again, this would be about Wednesday when this would happen. So Leeward Islands, you gotta be on a watch for this one as this continues to move west. We could be seeing a tropical storm or even a hurricane nearby on Wednesday. GFS. So here's the GFS. Developing Gaston, not tremendously, but you can see a little closed low right in here near the, again, almost like the GFDL near the northern Leeward Islands. And then again, this is Thursday night, starting to bring it up towards the north a little bit, near Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic area. And we could see if we kind of spread this out, you see this little bit of trough starting to develop here off the east coast. So does it feel that effect and try to move farther north? We're going to definitely have this big high pressure here. So this isn't going to really make the hook, but it could have a little influence with this trough, or does it continue farther west? We'll have to see how that plays out. Again, this is a long way off. We're talking about 7, 8 days out here. So we'll see, but still thinking this could be the first system that gets into the Caribbean, and waters are very warm down here, so we'll have to see what happens. And our fickle Euro model did have Gaston the last few runs. Now Gaston has disappeared. But you can still see a lot of high pressure to the north here. So again, if something does develop, it's going to move west. And here's that shear I was talking about. Here's that tut feature. We saw this tut feature a lot at the beginning of the season. It has now come back again. But usually if these systems could stay far enough east of the tut, usually we could get an anticyclone to develop over here on its east side. So here's going to be the dividing line. Does Gaston move a little too quickly and then run into this high shear? Or does it stay far enough away from the tut? As the tut moves west and southwest, does it keep its distance? If it could keep its distance, then this thing is on its way to developing again. So that's what we're going to have to see. Now, some of the models lose it because of this shear. Some want to crank it up, as you saw with the GFDL. So we're really going to have to see what happens here. It's a close call, but like I said, I'm still thinking we're going to see Gaston come back, and it could be a threat for the Leeward Islands here by midweek. And then just looking at the bigger picture, there goes Earl. Goodbye, Earl. Here was Fiona. No more Fiona. Here's Gaston right here. You can see some convection starting to build. And we have another area of interest, kind of disorganized, broad area of low pressure here near the Cape Verde Islands. Some of the initial models have this catching a little bit of a trough that's going to develop out here and kind of hook it out to sea. So we'll have to see if that one could come west or not. Plenty of time to watch that one. So that's it for the tropics tonight. I will have another update for you guys tomorrow morning. Have a good night.